Hey, what's up? Quincy Brannan here, your Texas cannabis attorney, coming at you with some cannabis news for the site today. As we all know, the recent state of events, the pandemic, everything has kind of taken its toll this year. But out of the bad, there always comes some good, right? So let's talk about some of the good. In response to the pandemic, various states in the West, including Oregon, California, Seattle, they began to build an interstate commerce agreement where they shared supplies, they shared personnel, they shared information so that they could better help each other in dealing with what was going on. This didn't extend to the entire country. It was just between all these regional states. In the East, we have similar things that are going on. Now, why is that important? Well, last year, Oregon lawmakers came up with the idea and passed a bill that would basically allow them to have a free trade alliance with California, Washington, and various other states so that they could begin to build a system for how they were going to share cannabis products should the federal government legalize the transportation across state lines. Now, what's the issue with that? Well, we all know what the issue is. It's federal to cross a state line, and it's federally illegal to transport marijuana across a state line. So, in response to that, these states have just set up all the framework for this, and indeed, it seems like the template to that framework is how they were able to set up for the response to COVID-19. Now, we progress to the present. We see how they've dealt with that. They had previously talked about this in 2018. The East Coast states, New Jersey, Rhode Island, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, these places had talked about doing something similar in their marijuana summit as they plan to march forward with legalization. So, digressing because there's a lot of information here and I get easily distracted. So, moving forward, what they're basically talking about is this framework could help to build a regional free trade alliance between various states, and they're looking to see if someone will test the waters. How are they going to test the waters? Well, they're going to have to cross that state line and see what happens with the federal government. What will probably happen? Well, I don't think the federal government's going to be too happy on that. More likely than not, it's going to cause a case. It's going to go up all the way to the Supreme Court, depending on the facts. It just depends. So, effectively, it's not legal right now. Could be legal in the future. It could even potentially become legal without the feds legalizing marijuana per se. They can merely legalize the transportation between states that have legalized it so that these free trade alliances can erupt between neighboring states. Now, here's the problem. Okay, because like I said, we got the good, but we can always get the bad, right? What would be the bad here? The bad in this instance would be that these states could begin to develop a cartel system. Either the states or corporations or a corporation set that's poised within these states could begin to develop a cartel situation where they will fix the price of marijuana as it is traded among marijuana, as it is traded among the various states that are involved. Okay, price fixing. We could get into price fixing. I don't think that'll happen. What I think will happen is, because marijuana is not completely dominated by any big corporations just yet, probably what will happen is these free trade alliances will erupt and they will give the market a clear consensus on price determination, a better price determination for consumers. It'll provide another market for states to be able to export their goods. Because here's the thing, and the reason that it was such a big deal in Oregon and why it was passed in Oregon originally, when I talked about Oregon to begin with, is because the state of Oregon grows about 6 times as much marijuana as it needs. That's insane. And they can't export it. They can't take it to Washington, California. It's stuck where it is. So being stuck where it is, it just goes to waste. It loses value, saturates the market. Oklahoma has a similar situation going on right now. So, if these states were to develop these free trade alliances and they were to develop a system for interstate commerce for marijuana dispensation, it'd be win-win for everybody. The business owners, the growers, the processors, the patients, the consumers. Makes sense, right? I don't know. But that's what's in the news today. As always, you can check my sources down below. You can also see our disclaimer where, because this is a law firm, this is not legal advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. It's the news. I'm reading the news to you, okay? As always, if you have any questions, feel free to call us. You can also check out our website. Set up a Facebook calendar consultation. What that does is it'll send you over to Facebook, which is linked to our calendar. You schedule a consultation, which your first consultation is free. Then you're set up. Someone will call you on that day, and you're good to go. Okay? All right. So that's pretty much it for now. You stay groovy. You'll take it easy.